Well, it wasn't the news BP was hoping for. Operation Topkill, designed to stem the oil leak in the Gulf of Mexico, has failed, and crude is still gushing into the ocean at an alarming rate. The spill now eclipsing the 1989 Exxon Valdez disaster to become the worst in U.S. history. Officials warn it may not be stopped before August. In the meantime, BP will use undersea robots to cut the damaged pipes at the risk of temporarily increasing the flow. If this attempt works, it still won't completely stop the flow of oil. US President Barack Obama is losing confidence in the company's ability to handle the spill. His top energy advisors say the administration is preparing for the worst.
This is probably the biggest environmental disaster we've ever faced in this country. It's certainly the biggest oil spill, and we're responding with the biggest environmental response.
So what does 40 million gallons of oil actually look like? Well, Bloomberg's Lizzie took to the air above the Gulf of Mexico so we could show you.
To understand the scope of the spill, the costs involved, and BP's problem, you've got to see it from the air.
All right, we're flying out on this plane to get a sense of what the coastline looks like, the oil coming in, then we're going to go directly over the site of the explosion.
The Coast Guard sends about 60 different aircraft a day over the spill. Helicopters and planes to map the oil, drop dispersants, and track it creeping into the wetlands.
We're going to be flying out down past the tip of Louisiana and directly out to the site. This site is approximately 50 miles offshore.
It doesn't take long past land to spot it.
There's a little bit here of a line. We're overflying right now. That's oil.
Oh yeah, right there.
You'll be able to see it. You know, your best bet if you go into the bubble window, you can see it.
Roger, thank you, sir. Yeah, we have them looking out.
It has a distinctive telltale palette. Orange oil, that's been in the water a while and broken up by dispersants. Rainbow oil, that's spreading out a bit. Metallic oil, sometimes that's oil under the surface. And dark oil, that's fresh. The spotters still see that dark, fresh oil. And what makes this spill so different and so hard to contain and so expensive is that it starts from so deep and the oil gets pushed around by currents under the Gulf.
This is much different than, say, a tanker spill where you'll have the product pooled at the surface around one central point. This is broken up, you know, because of coming up through so much of the water column.
About 10 miles from the rig site, there's simply oil everywhere. You can also smell it. The stench, which starts about 20 miles from the site, is dizzying as you approach the rig.
We're right out over the site of some of the worst part of the spill near the rig. You can see oil of different colors in the water. Darker oil, the oranger stuff is broken up by dispersants. You can't see the unbelievable smell which comes up off the water, even up into the plane where we are.
Down at the rig site, BP says it has already begun drilling relief wells, but those could take till August to be completed. Whatever the success of BP's next attempt at short-term containment, the Gulf will be holding its collective breath with one eye on the ocean until then.